I'm going to record something a little bit different today. More, I suppose, a behind the scenes thinking, thought process, more for my future self. And I know I can really do this now because my channel is still growing. I'm still in the early days. I'm still in that fumbling with content and ideas and technical stuff. So everything is just really delightfully messy and clumsy and raw. So I thought I would just slide in here with a little bit of a nugget that I can find for myself later. Because I doubt it'll get many views right now, because that's where I'm at. So what's been really interesting for me to see in the past month, as I've been taking one risky, courageous, intimidating step after another, is how each decision and each step just paves the way for the next one. And it's just this process of consistently giving yourself permission again and again and again to think differently or to do different things. And it really does start with just one decision. And even that one decision didn't just pop out of thin air on its own. That one decision is an accumulation of other choices and other thought processes that you've had. My one decision was to go down to the coast for a month. So I stay in Johannesburg, South Africa now, and I went down to the Western Cape to Plettenberg Bay and then along the Garden Route, which is all down by the sea. Absolutely beautiful. And I went there for a month. Making that decision felt huge at the time because I was in a rhythm in kind of, your day-to-day stuff. I was working with a personal trainer. I was seeing my friends. I was in my day-to-day life. So to go away for a month just seemed bizarre, to tell certain clients that I was seeing in person that I couldn't see them in person anymore. And it seemed big. It seemed big. It was big for me then. And then I went, and within days, I could see how that decision had already started paving the way for other ways of thinking. Because my mind started, I had these feelers out for different opportunities and for different chances that I could take and just jump at. So pretty immediately, I then signed up for this challenge that I'm doing now, which is what this video is in. It's a 30-day challenge where you post 30 videos in 30 days. Cool. Signed on for that. And then when I'm in that challenge, I'm throwing myself fully into a year-long program to study. And then when I'm there, I'm thinking, wait, I don't want to live in Johannesburg anymore. So I've now been back in Johannesburg for a week after spending that month down at the coast. And I, in one fell swoop, have made the decision to sell everything that I own, 95% of what I own, and pack everything up and just be on the go. And it's so interesting because I have no clear idea of where I'm going. I'm not going towards something. I think a lot of people are moving towards a job or a relationship, or they're moving away very clearly and intentionally from something that they don't like where they are, something bad has happened. It's neither of those things. I'm not running from something and I'm not running towards something concrete, but I have this loud, some days screaming at me feeling that just says, but just go and just do cool shit. Just go and have adventures and experiences and go and be lost. And yeah, the more I talk, it sounds a bit like a quarter plus a bit life crisis. I am turning 30 this year. But it's not that. I think, well, it probably is that because, it's a rite of passage, right? You spend a certain amount of time on this earth and certain ways of thinking start to dissolve and other ones start to evolve. But there's this feeling or this energy that just says there's more. There is more, there is more, there is more. And the more that I'm feeling is not necessarily more people or more money or more opportunity. It's more experience, in that every experience that I have just provides so much insight and information about myself that I just feel like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, oh, this fear and this discomfort and this grief and this shame and this joy, all these things are popping up all the time that I feel excited to learn about. And I had a really, really deep experience like that now 8 years ago when my dad died when I was 21. And then the years after that was around surviving, digesting, regulating, and then coming to again. And now I'm feeling that same like thirst for experiences. So packing everything up in the next 2 weeks, selling everything. Managed to find a company where they literally come in and they open your house up like a showroom, selling everything and just simplifying my life. These are my books that I'm taking with me, and these are my one good pair of shoes that'll do X, or just simplifying, clarifying, decluttering essentially. And I realize how cliche a lot of these things sound, but what's really interesting about cliche things is they only seem cliche when you are witnessing them. But they're not cliche when you're feeling them or going through them, because it's authentic and real and genuine for you. And when you're in it, there's so much depth and life and real-time experience there that it doesn't feel cliche, because it is your genuine experience. And having said that, things are cliche because they happen regularly. And I think that people should have these surges of energy to do weird and wonderful things regularly and often. So yes, cliche, it doesn't feel cliche. It feels brave and scary and intimidating for me. So packing up everything and moving. I don't have a car at the moment. I actually got into a car accident about 2 months ago, wrote off my car, don't have a car now. So I've applied for, doing the whole process for one. So I have, a new car and just fit whatever I can in it, including my 3 dogs that are coming with me. And yeah, just exploring and leaning into this feeling of freedom and a thirst and hunger for knowledge and experience and expansion. And this idea of, if we're going about life and we operate at a certain vibration or frequency, we know the feeling. We tend to flatten, or things deaden after a while, and then we inject ourselves with experiences, people, opportunity, challenges, and our vibration goes up again. So pretty much what this is just an injection, just to get that vibration, that frequency up. Because this vision I have for my life feels like it needs, no. This vision I have for my life, I know it needs higher vibration and frequency. That I know I could have a really good life just keeping things as is, but the kind of life I want needs this injection of energy and, like I say, the higher vibration, the higher frequency. So selling everything and moving. Don't really know where I'm going. I know I'm going to explore different parts of South Africa, and just see where it takes me, different opportunities, different connections, running speaking events in different places. But then that decision created this beautiful pathway to a different decision, which is so interesting because each decision keeps getting seemingly bigger and more scary, but my excitement is getting bigger and louder. So in all of this, I was like, okay, what do people do when they are experiencing life like this and they're wanting to do different things? And talking about cliches, my mind went to, but they climb Everest, or they climb mountains, or they do ultra whatevers, all these physical things. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So why don't I just decide to climb a mountain? So I started doing research around climbing Kilimanjaro. And the more research I've done, the more, no, not even the more and more realistic it's happening. That's my next big scary thing that I'm wanting to do, is climb up Kilimanjaro and summit Kilimanjaro. It is one of the world's, 7 peaks. It is the lowest one, but it's a good starting point from what I've seen for people that haven't spent a lot of time at high altitudes like that, or haven't done big climbs. I think to go from where I'm at now to like an Everest is not necessarily a smart physical progression. So Kilimanjaro it is, although unbelievably challenging still. So where I'm at now is confirming pricing, dates, timeline, and how I'm going to go about getting the funds for it, as well as start the process of fundraising for this NGO that I'm on the board of and I do coaching with. I'm going to raise funds through this climb for that. So this video really is for future me. Like I said, I doubt I'll get any views at this point in time, but just this little nugget that I just want to place there, that in 6 months' time or in 3 months' time or in a year's time, I can be like, wow, okay, cool. Look at where she was. And I'm so curious to know what other big decisions I would have made by then, because as each day passes, the courage that I have, just like a muscle, is strengthening more and more. And the trust I have in myself to make hard decisions, to do hard things, to follow through. And with the work I'm doing on myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm creating this capacity to hold it all, which is the most phenomenal part of everything. So to future Danny, hey girl, we're doing all of this for you. And yeah, we're excited. We're excited to create the life that we've been saying that we really want.